Welcome back, everyone, to Vintage Noise. Great to have you with us on the channel again.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Today, we're looking at a car that really set the tone for American sports cars in the mid-50s. It's the Porsche 356 1500 Pre-A Speedster. We're focusing on the 54 and 55 model years.
It's a fascinating car, isn't it? Because it's such a contradiction. I mean, it was designed, basically mandated to be cheaper, to cut costs right down.
Right.
And yet, it ends up becoming maybe the most iconic, most loved, most sought-after Porsche from that whole era.
So that's kind of our mission today, isn't it? To unpack how that happened. How did stripping things away, how does less actually become more?
Exactly. And you can't tell that story without starting with one key figure.
Max Hoffman.
Max Hoffman, absolutely. The North American import. He wasn't just selling cars Porsche sent him.
No, he was telling Stuttgart what Americans wanted, what would actually sell over here. A real visionary, in a way.
A powerful one, yeah. He looked at the 356 Coupe, the Cabriolet, and basically said, look, great cars, but too expensive for a lot of the guys who want a sports car.
The guys who were maybe racing MGs or Triumphs on the weekend?
Precisely. He saw that growing market for enthusiasts, people wanting something sporty, maybe for the track, maybe just for fun, cruising, California driving.
And he didn't just suggest a cheaper model, he really pushed for it. He had a number in mind, didn't he?
He did. He told Porsche, you need to build me a car I can sell for under $3,000. That was the target. Less than $3,000 USD.
Which sounds, well, incredibly ambitious back then for a Porsche.
It was aggressive.
Yeah.
And that price point basically dictated the entire design philosophy. It forced them into that less is more approach. They had to question every single component.
Oh, I know they need this?
Exactly. Can we take it out to save cost and weight? It's amazing how a commercial demand ended up creating such a pure, focused design.
And this all happened around the time Porsche was making some internal changes too, right? Production-wise.
Yeah, the timing worked out well. In 1954, Porsche moved production out of the old Raider Bodyworks buildings and into their own new facility, Work 2.
Gave them more control, more space.
More space, definitely, and the capacity to actually build this new variant Hoffman wanted. They'd already played around with a prototype, basically a modified cabriolet body.
Okay.
But Work 2 gave them the proper setup to produce the Speedster in volume.
So let's get into what actually got taken off the car. Because stripping away luxury sounds mild, but they went pretty far, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. The interior was deliberately minimalist. You got this very simple integrated dashboard.
No fancy trim or anything?
No, and radio, not even as an option. And the seats were just basic, lightweight buckets, good support, but nothing extra.
But the really defining things, the parts that shout Speedster, were the roof and the windows, or lack thereof.
Right. The folding top was just a simple canvas affair.
Yeah.
Very basic. And crucially, no proper wind-up glass windows like the Cabriolet had.
Instead, you got those side curtains, plastic and vinyl things you'd clip in.
Exactly. Which, seems like a huge pain today if you get caught in the rain.
Try doing that quickly.
Yeah. But back then, for the target buyer, it was almost a feature. It meant less weight, simpler mechanics.
And you could just take them off entirely for racing.
Precisely. It was part of the car's purposeful, sporting character, sacrificing convenience for purity, you could say.
Turning a cost cut into a feature. Genius, really. And then there was that distinctive low curved windscreen.
Yep, another signature element. And again, designed so racers could potentially remove it easily for track days. Less weight, better aerodynamics maybe.
But even while they were cutting costs on comfort items, they weren't skimping on the important mechanical bits, were they? There were some updates during 54.
That's a key point. Around November 54, mid-production, they brought in some important refinements. Shows they were focused on function.
What kind of things?
Well, the engine's got a stronger three-part crankcase, which is more robust. And for handling and safety, they added a front anti-roll bar, a stabilizer, and they also used reinforced steering knuckles. So better handling, more durability.
Especially important on a lighter car, that stabilizer bar helps keep it planted.
Exactly. It reinforces that this car, despite being the cheap option, was built to be driven properly, even driven hard. They took away comfort, but added where it counted for performance.
Which is a perfect lead-in to the actual performance. Let's look at the numbers for the specific model, the 356-1500 Pre-A Speedster. How did that lightweight approach translate on the road?
Okay, so the engine was the Type 546.
Yeah.
It's Porsche's classic 1.5-liter air-cooled flat four. Reliable, solid engine.
But power-wise?
Modest by today's standards, for sure. We're talking 54 brake horsepower. And that peak power came at 4,400 RPM.
54 horsepower. You hear that now and think, oh, that's not much for a sports car.
It doesn't sound like a lot, no. But you have to factor in the weight, obviously, and also the torque figure.
Ah, right. Torque tells a different story sometimes.
It really does, especially for driving feel. It made 76 foot-pounds of torque, but the crucial part is where it made it. Peak torque was way down at just 2,500 RPM.
So quite low in the rev range, meaning...
Meaning it felt punchy, responsive. You didn't have to rev the engine like crazy to get it moving. It had pull from low speeds, which makes it feel quicker than the numbers might suggest.
More usable power for normal driving or on twisty roads.
Exactly. It's about driver engagement, not just raw numbers. If you look at the measured performance, 0 to 60 mile per hour took about 13.9 seconds.
Okay, respectable for the time.
Yeah. And the top speed was just under the magic 100 mile per hour at 99. But the key takeaway, linking back to Hoffman's idea, is how it felt. Sources often say this lightweight approach made the Speedster the most likely way to enjoy driving made by Porsche.
Pure and simple, just the essentials.
Unfiltered connection between driver, car, and road. That's what people loved.
And that immediate appeal cemented its place, but things were already changing by late 55, right? The whole 356 line got an update.
That's right. September 1955 at the Frankfurt Motor Show, the IAA. That's when Porsche officially introduced the 356A. The pre-A era was over.
And the A model brought improvements across the board.
It did. Generally, the 356A had better road holding, thanks to some suspension tweaks. The standard engines also got a small bump in capacity, from 1.5 to 1.6 liters. Smoother, maybe a bit more flexible.
And visually, I remember the windshield changed on the regular models.
Yeah, the coupe and the cabriolet got a nice new curved windscreen, but without that center kink the pre-A had. Looked more modern. And all models, including the Speedster that continued, got a redesigned dashboard, a bit more refined.
Ah, so the Speedster did continue into the 356A generation.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But here's the interesting thing. While the other models got more refined, the Speedster basically kept its core stripped-down identity.
It stayed the minimalist version.
Pretty much. It kept that signature low removable windscreen. It kept the simple lightweight folding top. And crucially,
The side curtains.
it kept the side curtains, no roll-up windows. It remained the budget-friendly, driver-focused, almost raw convertible in the lineup. Exactly what Hoffman wanted.
Which must be why it became such a huge hit, especially in America. You saw them everywhere at club races, autocross events.
Absolutely everywhere, particularly on the West Coast. It became the car for weekend racers and sports car enthusiasts in the U.S. You could argue it's the most iconic 356 version precisely because of that American connection and its racing pedigree.
But while the Speedster was carrying the torch for simplicity at that 55 Frankfurt show, Porsche showed another side of itself too, didn't they?
Ah, yes. Talk about contrast. On the very same stage where they're showing the Minimalist Speedster, they unveil something completely different.
The big one, the Carrera.
The Carrera. The new super Porsche. If the Speedster was about less is more, the Carrera was, well, it was about more is more.
Powered by that legendary and legendarily complex engine.
Exactly. The 4-cam engine, designed by Dr. Ernst Furman, an incredible piece of engineering derived directly from racing.
So, totally opposite end of the spectrum from the Speedster's simple pushrod flat 4.
Completely. High performance, high cost, high maintenance. This 4-cam engine, with its intricate vertical shaft drive for the camshafts, had only just appeared in the 550 Spider race car in '53.
Bringing pure race tech to the road.
That was the idea. It was so ambitious, so complex, that Furman himself later jokingly called it his youthful sin. It just perfectly highlights this amazing duality within Porsche, even back then.
Serving the grassroots racer and the cutting-edge technologist at the same time, incredible.
So when you circle back to our pre-A Speedster, its story is just a brilliant case study. Porsche listened to a key market voice, Hoffman, and delivered exactly what was needed.
A pure driving machine.
Yes. And they proved that sometimes taking things away, simplifying, is the best path to creating something truly legendary, something enthusiasts connect with on a gut level.
The budget car that became a genuine icon?
It really did. And it leaves you with a fascinating thought. Looking at that 1955 moment, you've got the Speedster. Simple, focused, accessible, built for pure driving fun. And right next to it, the Carrera. Complex, exotic, dripping with race-bred technology, built for ultimate performance. What does that incredible contrast tell you about Porsche's identity, its DNA, even way back then? This ability to cater to both the purist seeking simplicity and the enthusiast demanding the absolute cutting edge, all at the same time. Something to think about.